Is it a given that you will be in court if this happens?
Sure.
And what will be the legal argument at that?
Well, there's a lot of legal arguments. First thing we'll have to obviously do is be concerned about standing, so that'll become a question of timing. I will again volunteer myself as the aggrieved Ohio citizen. It wouldn't be the first time I've sued a seated governor, and so I'm getting used to it. So we'll have Ohio citizenship, we'll have organizations, and we'll be suing whoever our lawyers say is ultimately responsible. The suit would start in Franklin County Court the same way it started here when we sued on the Mega Millions. And you might remember that lawsuit was sort of a split decision, and we won a piece of that, and it upheld in the appellate system as well, so we're kind of familiar there, and we do have counsel.
A couple hours ago, a lawyer for the retail merchants said the reason that the Racino, that the governor could do this, that the legislature could do it on their own without the vote of the people, was not because the 1973 amendment authorized it, but because, paraphrasing here, there's nothing in the Constitution that prohibits it.
Somebody should have mentioned that to Alan Spitzer and the other folks that have been spending millions and hundreds of millions of dollars to try to get casinos open in Ohio. I guess we have the question of the legislature can break the law, but other people can't. I mean, the law is the law, and we either all stand equal before the law and the rules, or we don't. So I don't see how they're making a carve-out that says we can do it because we're the legislature. I mean, representatives, does that make any sense to you? You want to okay, follow up, or you want to comment, Ron, any further, or that was just a guess I got?
I'll comment on this.
Okay. All right, you want to wait a little bit longer? Okay.
Well, can you point to something in the Constitution? Can you read us a phrase in the Constitution that says there shall be no casinos, no gambling?
Well,
can you just quote? I know you've got something.
Sure. The original language regarding lottery and lottery tickets is what authorizes the existing system. Now, under what system are they attempting to open a casino? Private ownership or under the lottery? They're doing it under the lottery. The lottery only exists because of this language, so my response would be, show me casinos in this language. Show me that that's what this means, and then we have no argument. Then they'd be right. All right? But it doesn't say casinos in here. It says lottery and the sale of tickets. That will, in essence, be, Bill, the entire debate. A court will have to determine in 1973, when the people voted, did they vote for a completely unregulated, whatever goes. And look, you know, a lot of times people get accused of slippery slope argument until you're on one. All right, we've gone from a single drawing to a multi-state drawing to Keno, and now we're at racinos. So how long until full-fledged casinos? And then what would your imagination procure? There's a lot of things it doesn't say in the Constitution. It doesn't say prostitution's illegal. It doesn't say crack houses are illegal. Heck, the lottery can make a lot of money doing that stuff. Follow the logic. Are we going to follow the rule of law, or are we going to make it up as we go along? So I mean, these are legitimate legal questions you have to ask. So my question to them is, show me casinos in your authority to exist. Sir?
What's your legal argument this time around? How do you Mega Millions?
Well, the first question, we question Mega Millions based upon whether or not that's what the people authorized, since Mega Millions didn't exist. And it was interesting because at the trial court level, the judge basically said bigger legal horses than he would have to make that determination. All right. In essence, he said, good question, I'm not sure how to answer it. However, Mega Millions is a drawing, okay? And it's pretty close. It's in the neighborhood. There's a big difference between a racino and a pull ticket. All right. So the first argument is we need to get definition on what does the law really say. And again, look, I'd be happy to have a legal definition. If the courts in Ohio are going to say lottery means anything, then at least we have some legal definition other than politicians making it up as they go along. All right. Now, if in fact, so that'd be one thing. Then of course the next question is, what are they going to do with the money? We've heard from the governor's people that their goal is to try to find some way to unleash this money into the general revenue fund, which we know the Constitution prohibits. Lottery funds are for education. If they try to bait and switch the money, bring it in for education, then in essence cut education funding to send those monies somewhere else, we've already won that lawsuit. So they're going to lose that one. So those would be at least the first two pieces of the puzzle. And I think we've got about three more. I'm not going to tell you all because why give their lawyers a heads up. Right now we think we've got about 5 points of merit. The governor wants racinos. Go ahead and put up a constitutional amendment. fact, why not have just the legislature put up an amendment that abolishes this language, let the people vote on abolishing the lottery, as it is currently exists, then go ahead and put up an amendment to say this is what it should mean. Let the people decide. And we would be excited for that debate. Bring it on. Let the people decide. They've decided 4 times they don't want it. If they change their mind, then the will of the people prevails. Another question?
Would you feel better having the legislature approve this as opposed to having the governor do it via either an executive order or a rule change as he did with Keno?
It's a very carefully crafted question. I think the governor would feel much better if he could get somebody to share the blame with him. This has kind of become sort of a juvenile thing. Times are tough, so the governor wants to rob a bank. He'd just like somebody to help him. All right? No, I wouldn't feel any better because it's wrong. And the real legal question is, what did the voters, the people of Ohio, own their Constitution? That's a fundamental principle. Ask any law professor in town, and they will tell you that ultimately the authority for the Constitution resides in the people of Ohio. That's what the words say. So when the legislature begins to tinker with constitutional law under the premise of statute, and that's not smart. You all might know what that was, I don't. Okay, oh, feedback. It's my dynamic personality once again. You want to follow up on that one, James, at all? Did we get interrupted? Or did we get
No, I think we're good.
You got it? Okay.
The governor has drawn a distinction between his slots plan and full-fledged casinos, and he says he's probably still going to be opposed to casinos if it's on the ballot. Has he
Sorry.
lost credibility? I think you just answered that question. But has he
I'm
lost
sorry, we
credibility?
got uniform laughter across the board. Yeah. Not only has he lost credibility, let me take it a step farther. He's lost credibility as governor in the state of Ohio, in our opinion. I think what the people of Ohio really need is a new governor. Because when the governor of the state of Ohio is going to trash the Constitution and stand there and defy 4 votes of the people, that's a whole lot bigger question than 4 misdemeanors. And on the level of moral equivalency, we think the Democrats should start looking for a new candidate. Ohio should start looking for a new governor. Because if he's going to play fast and free with the Constitution here, what else is he going to do? And furthermore, the argument of, oh my goodness, the budget made me do it, you swear on oath to uphold the Constitution regardless of what comes down the pike. And if you'll forgive me for giving you the next question, because you know for certain that's what they're going to ask, is, well then, Mr. Zanotti, what's the roundtable solution? Our solution is obey the law. That's our solution. Obey the law. We have to. Why shouldn't he? If people follow the governor's example and times are tough, why should they continue to pay their taxes? Times are tough. We can't pay, Governor. Well, you can break the law. Why can't we? You can change the law arbitrarily with statute over constitutional priority. How do you do that? How does that? What law school says that works? What court says that works? Doesn't make any sense. I think Ohio needs a new governor. I think he's forfeited his credibility as governor in this state to defy 4 elections and say, we're going to put racinos in anyhow? Because I say so? Because we need the money now. Somebody's going to say, well, what's your answer on the budget? I happen to have brought somebody here who's got some comments on that. I'm going to turn this over to Ron.